what's up? Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. This next guy, listen to this, was voted the funniest person on Twitter. That is a big deal. That's a big deal because I do the tweets and I have guys who write, you know, my stuff like I'll be at Yuck Yucks and Jerk-Offville. I have guys who do that, but every once in a while I try to write something funny. And it's a lot of pressure. It is. It's a lot of pressure. And this guy's successful at it. Rob Delaney is here. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Now, how did this happen? Now, when did you start tweeting and how you voted? Who votes? Just the people on Twitter or something?
Comedy Central voted.
Yeah, that was Comedy Central gave that award in their... I guess they've been doing comedy awards for a couple of years now,
right?
And this was the first time they did a Twitter one.
Oh, the comedy awards.
Yeah.
Oh, so you went to the ceremony and everything?
I didn't. They gave the like low rent.
Was it like, you know, at the Oscars where it's like the technical awards?
Exact same thing.
How dare they? You know,
yeah.
If you're gonna do a comedy award show, that's a pretty big deal. There's a lot of people on Twitter. Every jerk-off comic I know is on Twitter. This guy's the funniest. Let you go to the. I want to see what you'd have to say.
Yeah, maybe one day they will let us out of the shadows.
F them.
Yeah, but it was still an honor, you know. I mean, some amazing people got nominated for it. So
who
to
else?
win that, Stephen Colbert, Steve Martin,
Hacks,
Sarah Silverman. Yeah, I mean, everybody on there was like a luminescently famous millionaire.
And so the non-famous guy got it.
I did, yeah.
But that's great. So, like, what do you tweet? Give me some tweets.
What's
like a funny tweet? I know.
Oh, you know
I always putting pressure on you, but
no,
I mean,
well, the thing is for me to think of ones that aren't filthy. Oh, I did one recently that's not filthy, which was that was rather popular. I said, I like my coffee like I like my women. I like black women. Just screwing up the way you're supposed to do the joke, and people are like, "That's not how you do it."
Oh, and that's the best.
Yeah,
that's the best one.
That's the best.
Sometimes I will on purpose, like, do something, or not. Sometimes not on purpose. Say something real stupid.
Yeah.
And the backlash is amazing.
That's the
I
best.
love seeing the fights. So people got mad at that. Like, how many followers do you have?
850,000.
So, and it's just from being witty. It's not from being famous. It's
Yeah,
I mean, but that's very impressive.
When I started in the beginning,
see, I have 170,000.
Yeah,
and I'm a famous guy, like sort of famous.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, I'm a C-list guy.
No,
but,
you're a B plus.
But even that's more than you are right now.
Certainly.
I mean, you'll probably be more famous than me in a couple of days.
No,
but I'm saying, like, I have that going for me.
Yeah.
And 170,000. You're just from being funny. You've got that's very impressive.
Well, I'm grateful for it, and I can't believe anybody pays attention. I think part of it might be that when I started in 2009, I didn't have a nickel. I was working doing telemarketing. My wife was pregnant. I was like, maybe I should kill us all. I mean, like, it was very bad.
This is how not into, like, you know, the media I am and how out of touch I am. Are you famous?
No,
I mean, you a famous guy?
Here's what I'll say. To me, the difference between, like, abject poverty and making a living in comedy is a huge leap. You know what I mean? So that's massive. The difference between making a living in comedy and Jerry Seinfeld to me is like an inch. You know, I can a hacker about that. Sorry, but the fact that I can make a living doing stand-up now is amazing.
You're right. So you were stand-up first before the Twitter thing happened.
Yes.
So when did you start tweeting? When did you get into this?
Beginning of 2009.
Oh, okay. So it's only been about 4 years.
Correct. Yeah.
And now, do you get like that last one you said? How many retweets does that get?
I don't know. If I don't get 50 retweets like in an hour, I'll delete it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm just trying to, first of all, it's so nice. Even though I'm a scumbag and I say acerbic, like, crazy things,
right?
I still am
they like that, though.
I'm very grateful that anybody would follow me. So I try to honor that by only having good jokes up there that people like. And I absolutely, you know, let some sort of weird democracy function. If people don't like it, I'll kill it. Because
right.
I just want people to be entertained, you know?
Well, I gotta, you know what I gotta do? I gotta start following you.
Thank you.
Like this guy aggravated me the other day on Twitter. I tweeted out a picture of me on a plane, a peace sign, and I said he started saying, like, oh, what is that, a picture for every 1,000 pounds you weigh, your finger? Like, real stupid stuff, real awful stuff. But this guy got me so mad. I tweeted back such an obnoxious thing, and he goes, hey, is that theater you're working at tonight doing stand-up paying you by the pound? And I got so mad at him, I tweeted back, hope not, because that means I weigh 50,000, you jealous bitch. You jealous bitch. Hope not. That means I weigh 50,000 pounds, you jealous bitch. And then, of course, everybody's like, whoa, calm down. You sound ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it's fun. Like, I tweeted when I got on the plane from LA to fly here this morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, I tweeted, like, if you take out your phone at a live comedy or music show, Jesus slaps your grandmother in hell. I wrote that, right? So then some guy wrote me, he wrote, yeah, if I take out my phone at your show, that means you should be funnier. And I got so mad because here's the thing. Yeah. I didn't tweet that because somebody did it during my show. I tweeted it because I was at a show the other day watching, and all these people had their phones out. I'm like, pay attention.
Exactly.
So I wrote to that guy. I told him to eat my F word. Children and animals hate you, is what I said. Because that's just a garbage person.
No, I know.
Shut up.
My favorite of all time is the people who are negative with something like childish, but really to the point. Like I went to see Bruce Springsteen last summer. I tweeted out some pictures of the show because I was backstage. I thought, oh, this is a unique experience. I'm backstage. Maybe I'll tweet out. So I tweeted out like some kid tweeted me. He goes, nobody cares about your stupid pictures, fatso. See that kid? If I had my own sitcom, I'd hire him to be my head writer.
You know what's funny though is like people who comment, like if you reply to people online or YouTube comments, even if you write a nice thing, something's wrong with you. Why aren't you out living the life and eating a pizza? Like, so then people who say negative things are just not even, I mean, they're sub people, just sub.
John started tweeting the other day.
I did.
And
just like a month ago.
Tell him your joke.
It was pretty good.
John is a former NFL player, so he's not a comedian, so just bear with him. Good.
This was my first tweet. We adopted a French bulldog. He wee-wees everywhere.
Hey, there we go.
Now, how acerbic and nasty of a tweet would you send after you saw that?
After I saw that, I would be like...
You'd be chuckling, right?
What I would say, what I would think is that's charming because my core is a nice person. But what I would say, since I know people are following, is I'd be like, I'm really grateful that the NFL has a program to help you deal with your brain injuries. Because I think people would enjoy that more.
See, there you go. You should have put that on there.
I know.
Like when you're on stage, nobody wants to hear you be like, the fact is, my wife's terrific. People don't want to hear that,
No, he's got a great idea for a character for you. You were in the NFL for 7 years. You should be the guy who says all stuff that brain damaged NFL guys would say. Yeah. So you could just say stupid, like just the craziest stuff, and you go, I'm a brain damaged NFL guy.
Valid point. It's an out.
Do you follow Tom Crabtree? He's on the Buccaneers, and he's amazing and very funny. Super
really?
Funny.
Yeah.
Tom Crabtree. What does he play?
He's a wide receiver.
Was he the guy who wasn't he in some sort of scandal about
tight end? He's a tight end.
Or somebody else named Crabtree.
Yeah, there's two Crabtrees.
No, Michael Crabtree.
Michael got accused. The other Crabtree got accused of sexual.
Crabtree just tore his Achilles.
Was it sexual assault or something he got accused of? I don't want to say it. Maybe
it was something before the Super Bowl where he missed.
Well, Tom Crabtree consensually sends me pictures of him doing stuff that's sexually very wrong, but I ask for it.
Well, you should. Now, how does this help your stand-up? Probably immensely, right? Do you get a lot? Do you tweet out gigs and?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's sort of like two wings of a bird, right? Like I understand that by tweeting and getting more followers, it makes it easier for me to sell tickets on the road. And the more tickets you sell on the road, the more comfortable you are going out for a stretch of dates and improving at stand-up. Right. So they function together, though not necessarily as directly as one might think. Then my stand-up is a lot more story-oriented and anecdotal and stuff. But now that I've been tweeting for a few years, really, where you can only have 140 characters, a lot of my stuff has more like descriptive language in it. And
it forces you to get better at writing jokes.
Yeah, definitely.
Bit, because I try to tell as many stories as I can in stand-up. But it's funny where it becomes a stand-up show becomes a one-man show. It's when the stories don't have jokes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So do you try to? And the big problem, obviously, is to write jokes in that story and not make it sound too contrived,
Right.
Do you have that problem? Do you basically tell a true story and then just try to punch it up with jokes? Or you just tell the story and just try to be funny just telling it?
I sort of think of it as like if you're writing jokes all day, like people like us are thinking in a funny manner, or at least looking for the comedy and stuff all day long.
Right.
And we've written for other people, which is crazily useful for your own own stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you get your mind in the shape of thinking of jokes, even when you tell a story, it's gonna have funny bits in it.
I was never good at that, at writing for other people, because it's a limited group. When agents call me up, I'll go, "Is your client a fat heroin addict?" Then I got nothing.
Yeah.
But you've written on shows and stuff, and
not a lot,
no?
because the funny thing is in 2009, when I first started Twitter, I was trying to get hired on every show, and they'd all be like, funny writing packet, but not quite, and so I'd be touring, like I'd be flying to Minneapolis, and I'd maybe get paid like $900 for a weekend of gigs, and I'd spend like $758 getting there and buying hotels. So like it was very
As a business
awful,
model, it
just
doesn't
the
make any
worst,
sense.
And I'd be taken off from my horrible job to do it. So just like digging a hole.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
That's
so
dedication.
doing that, submitting to every Light Note show, and I do mean everyone, multiple times, and they'd be getting better and better, my packets, and then it just wouldn't happen. And then finally, in like overnight, I would then be getting to make my own pilots and stuff. It
why
was sort
not?
of crazy how quickly things started to happen after a certain point.
Well, hopefully that'll happen. We got to take a break. We'll come right back and talk more with the funniest guy on Twitter, Rob Delaney, after this.